5 reasons why Netflix's KPop Demon Hunters ruled the box office. In what can be viewed as a sizable victory lap for Netflix, the king of the streaming game now has the #1 movie at the box office for the first time ever. That's thanks to the theatrical release of the company's smash animated hit KPop Demon Hunters, which has been dominating the streamer's charts for weeks now. It turns out, despite being available to watch at home, audiences were very happy to turn up for the 2-night-only event. The KPop Demon Hunters sing-along release delivered a surprise appearance atop the charts at the domestic box office, taking in an estimated $18 million. Mind you, that's from just 2 days' worth of screenings, as opposed to the full weekend. The movie was also playing on just 1,700 screens. Compare that to the #2 movie this weekend, Weapons, $15.6 million domestically, or Freakier Friday, which brought in $9.2 million to land in the #3 spot. However, in both of those cases, the films were playing in over 3,600 theaters. So what went right here? Why were fans more than happy to pay to see a movie they've likely already watched at home? And how did this become Netflix's first #1 movie despite the streamer having released arguably splashier titles in theaters in the past? We're going to look at some of the biggest reasons why KPop Demon Hunters became the surprise box office hit of August 2025. Let's get into it. KPop Demon Hunters is a full-blown phenomenon. Though it's not necessarily on everyone's radar in the same way that movies like Top Gun, Maverick, or Avatar, The Way of Water were, to the point where the film feels culturally ubiquitous. It cannot be overstated just how much of a phenomenon KPop Demon Hunters has become. It has spent 9 weeks ruling Netflix's charts and will soon become the company's most-watched movie ever, overtaking Red Notice. It is also very likely going to be the meaningful franchise starter that Netflix has tried so hard to find, failing up to this point. Even heavily streamed Netflix movies can sometimes feel like they hardly exist in the larger cultural conversation. This film, on the other hand, is an outright zeitgeist hit. Its soundtrack is dominating the Spotify and Billboard charts, the social media chatter is there, and it's a meaningful breakthrough success that audiences are hungry to engage with. The same couldn't be said for, say, The Gray Man when it debuted on Netflix. Sony probably lost out on a fortune by letting KPop Demon Hunters go to Netflix, as evidenced by the movie's performance at the box office over the weekend. What we're seeing is a cultural phenomenon in the real world with hard numbers. Getting people off the couch can be extremely difficult these days. This film's success in theaters months after its initial release speaks volumes about the fandom around it. Scarcity helped make KPop Demon Hunters a must-see event. One thing that really seemed to work here was the way in which Netflix managed to make this a must-see event. KPop Demon Hunters wasn't only presented in a sing-along format, which encouraged audience participation, but it was 2 nights only in a relatively limited number of theaters. Again, 1,700 screens is nothing to sneeze at, but it's far less than the 3,000 or more we see with a studio-produced wide release. This created a scarcity element to the proceedings, which made it feel more special. While Netflix didn't go wild with an expensive marketing campaign for the theatrical release, it was made clear that this was a go-now or you'll miss it event. Keep in mind, Netflix declined to keep Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, in theaters longer, even though theaters wanted it to. And that movie only made a little over $9 million on its opening weekend. Undoubtedly, theater owners would be more than welcoming to another round of Demon Hunter screenings. But Netflix has made it crystal clear that it doesn't care about the box office, so there's reason to believe this may well be a true blue one-time opportunity, one that fans took full advantage of. A strong lack of competition helped KPop Demon Hunters. This is a fairly obvious point, but it's one that bears repeating all the same. Studios didn't bring their A-game to August when it comes to the release calendar, which left the door wide open for KPop Demon Hunters to pull off this surprise win. This past weekend's competition was, with all due respect to the movies in question, hardly impressive. Ethan Cohen's Honey Don't made $3 million and debuted at number 9, the best of the new arrivals. It was never going to be a breakout hit either, much as it pains me to say that. Then we had A24's English dub of Neja 2, the biggest animated movie of all time, with $2.1 billion at the box office to its name.